The sound of the plains at dawn is unlike anything else on Earth. It begins as a whisper, a low hum of wind brushing through tall grass, the gentle buzzing of flies already awake, and the soft chirp of distant birds calling to the rising sun. Then comes the light, thin and gold, spilling over the horizon and touching every blade of grass, every shadow, every heartbeat. It's a kind of magic that only lasts a few minutes, when night hasn't fully let go, and the world still feels half-dash asleep. In this golden hour, a cheetah mother moves silently through the grass. Her coat glows in the morning light, spots dancing as her muscles ripple beneath her skin. She is lean, graceful, and alert, every step deliberate. Behind her, a single cub follows, wobbling slightly, his small legs unsure of the world he's learning to walk in. His fur is soft and pale, with a faint silver mantle down his back, nature's camouflage to hide him from danger. The cub pauses often, distracted by everything. A butterfly rising from a flower, a lizard darting between pebbles, the wind tugging playfully at his tail. Each moment is new, each sound a mystery. The mother stops and looks back, her golden eyes watching with both pride and worry. She gives a soft chirp, the gentle call of a mother cheetah. The cub answers with a faint squeak, hurrying clumsily to her side. She nuzzles him once, breathing in his scent, a scent she knows by heart, before turning toward a shaded patch of grass where they will rest. The savanna stretches endlessly around them, a sea of waving grass broken only by scattered acacia trees. Far in the distance, the great herds of wildebeest move like dark rivers across the plain. Giraffes drift by in slow motion, their heads rising above the horizon like moving towers. Somewhere beyond the hills, elephants are waking. The soft trumpets of mothers calling to their calves echo faintly on the wind. But the cheetah mother doesn't look toward the herds or the giants. Her attention stays low, ears twitching at every rustle in the grass. She knows this land, its beauty and its cruelty. She has lost before, and she knows that in this open world, every sound matters. As the sun climbs higher, warmth spreads across the ground. The cub stretches out beside his mother, his small body pressed against hers. For a while, everything feels peaceful, the kind of peace that can trick you into thinking it might last. The cub closes his eyes, comforted by the rhythm of his mother's breathing. She watches the horizon, her gaze steady and calm, yet never fully relaxed. A few hundred meters away, beneath a wide acacia tree, a lion pride lies in the shade. Their golden bodies blend with the earth, muscles hidden beneath stillness. The great male lifts his head, his mane heavy with dust and heat, and yawns, a low, rumbling sound that seems to shake the air itself. Around him, lionesses groom one another lazily, their cubs tumbling and biting in harmless play. The cheetah mother sees them. She always does. They are the silent rulers of this world, the power she can never challenge. Lions and cheetahs share the same land, but not the same fate. The lions eat first. The cheetah waits, always alert, always ready to flee. Still, there is no hatred between them, only the ancient understanding of the wild. Every creature has its place, and survival depends on knowing it. The cub lifts his head and looks toward the lions. He doesn't understand what they are, only that they are large and fascinating. His tail flicks with curiosity. The mother senses it and nudges him gently back down. Not now, her body seems to say. The sun is too high, the shadows too short. This is the hour when danger stirs. The warm wind sweeps through the plain, carrying the smell of dust, wildflowers, and something else, faint but sharp. The cheetah freezes. Her ears tilt slightly, nostrils flaring. It's a smell she knows. Musk and rot, old bones and laughter. The wind shifts again, and the sound follows, soft at first, then clearer. A laugh, then another, then many. Hyenas. They are far for now, maybe near the riverbed or the carcass of yesterday's kill. But even at a distance, their presence changes the air. The cheetah's muscles tense. Her cub looks up at her, sensing something wrong though he doesn't understand what. She licks his head slowly, trying to calm him, but her eyes stay locked on the horizon. The laughter fades, swallowed by the wind, yet unease remains. She knows hyenas don't forget a scent easily. They search, they track, and when they find something small and helpless, they don't stop. The cub, unaware of the danger, begins to chase a grasshopper that hops past him. He pounces and misses, then pounces again, his tiny claws barely denting the soil. The mother watches him, her heart softening. For a brief moment, the fear eases. She lets him play, lets him live inside his small, innocent world a little longer. Above them, a hawk circles. Its cry cuts across the sky, sharp, distant, warning. The mother cheetah lifts her head and follows its path. She has learned to listen to every creature around her. The hawk's voice means movement, disturbance, maybe a kill nearby. The balance of life is shifting again. The cub grows tired and climbs onto her back, curling into the space between her shoulders. His small body is light, his breath soft against her fur. The mother stands, scanning the plains once more. The lions are still sleeping under the tree. The herds graze quietly. Everything looks calm again, but she doesn't trust calm. Calm can be the cruelest trick the wild plays as the sun begins to sink. The sky changes, gold deepening to orange, then to blood red. The plains turn to fire under the fading light. The cheetah leads her cub toward a small rise, where the grass grows thick and the earth dips into shadow. It's a good place to hide for the night. She moves silently, each step deliberate, ears flicking back to catch every sound. The cub follows close behind, stumbling once, then hurrying to keep up. The world softens as night approaches. Crickets begin their song. The air cools. The cheetah lies down, curling her body protectively around her cub. He nestles against her chest, sighing, already half asleep. The mother lowers her head beside his and listens, to the wind, to the hum of insects, to the far-off echoes of laughter that rise again from the darkness. Her eyes stay open long after the stars appear. Somewhere out there, something is moving, something that doesn't sleep. She presses her nose gently to her cub's fur and closes her eyes, if only for a moment. The savanna breathes in silence. The grass sways. The lions stretch and yawn under their tree. And somewhere beyond the hills, a chorus of hyenas begins to build again. Faint, hungry, and closing in. The night is beautiful. The night is dangerous. And by morning, peace will no longer belong to this place. The scream comes first, a sharp, terrified sound that slices through the heat like a blade. It's the cry of a cheetah cub, high-pitched and desperate, carrying far across the plains. Every creature nearby hears it. Birds burst from trees. Gazelles freeze mid-step. And somewhere beyond the golden sea of grass, his mother lifts her head from the hunt. For a heartbeat, she doesn't move. Then instinct takes over. The cheetah mother explodes into motion, a blur of gold and dust. Her paws pound the dry earth, muscles burning with speed and fear. The wind rushes past her ears, carrying the sound of her cub's cries, each one sharper than the last. The world narrows to a single direction, back to where she left him hidden, back to the one thing that matters. But even before she sees them, she smells them. The thick, musky scent of hyenas, 4 of them, spreading like rot across the air. The cub is trapped between tufts of grass, tiny and trembling. Around him, the hyenas circle, laughing, panting, their yellow eyes glinting with hunger. Their voices rise in broken, mocking tones, the kind that make even the strongest animals hesitate. The smallest hyena steps closer, snapping its teeth just inches from the cub's face. The cub squeaks and curls into a ball, trying to disappear into the dirt. The mother bursts through the grass. For a moment, the world stops. Her body is lightening, shoulders low, eyes wide, fangs bared. A snarl rips from her throat, sharp and wild. The hyenas turn, surprised, but not afraid. Then chaos erupts. The cheetah lunges first, aiming for the nearest hyena's flank. Her claws rake through fur and flesh, and the scavenger yelps, stumbling backward. Dust flies, the air thick with growls and screeches. But the others recover fast. One swings around, jaws snapping at her tail. Another charges straight for her cub. The mother pivots, blocking them. She strikes again, fast but desperate, claws flashing, teeth sinking into a shoulder. Yet every move costs her strength. She's built for speed, not for war. Her sleek, elegant body isn't made to fight creatures that kill in packs. The hyenas know this. They move together, circling tighter, each one waiting for her to falter. The cub cries again. It's a small, broken sound, half scream, half plea. The mother hears it and surges forward with a fury she didn't know she had. She slams into one hyena's side, knocking it off its feet. Another lunges for her leg, and she twists free just in time. But the fourth, the biggest, catches her from behind. Its jaws close around her shoulder, dragging her down. She screams, thrashing, trying to tear loose. For a few endless seconds, there's nothing but dust, noise, and pain. Then, a sound like thunder. It's low, deep, and ancient. It rolls across the savanna, quieting even the hyena's laughter. The cheetah freezes. The scavengers pause, heads jerking toward the ridge above. There, in the wavering heat, stands a lioness. She is massive, golden, broad-shouldered, her maneless head lifted high. Behind her, 3 younger lions watch in silence, their tails twitching, eyes fixed on the scene below. The lioness's face is unreadable, calm but fierce, like stone carved by time. The hyenas hesitate, torn between greed and fear. They've stolen kills from lions before, but this is different. The lioness isn't defending food. She's simply watching, her gaze locked on the cheetah mother and her cub. The cheetah breathes hard, sides heaving, fur torn and bleeding. She doesn't look at the lioness, not yet. Her body still shields her cub, who trembles beneath her belly. The hyenas regroup, snarling, uncertain whether to continue. Then the lioness growls again. Not loud, but deep, resonant, final. It's not a warning. It's a command. The hyenas freeze. For a heartbeat, no one moves. The wind shifts, carrying the scent of dominance, the scent of the true rulers of this land. The lioness begins to walk forward, slow and deliberate, each step heavy with power. The earth almost seems to hum beneath her paws. The hyena's laughter dies. They back away, their confidence fading with every step she takes. One glances at another, then bolts into the grass. The rest follow, vanishing as quickly as they came, their cowardly cackles trailing off into the distance. Silence falls. The cheetah mother stays crouched, chest heaving, muscles trembling. Her cub peeks out from under her, wide-eyed and shaking. The air still smells of fear, blood, and dust. The lioness stops a few meters away. Her golden eyes meet the cheetah's. The 2 predators stare at each other, predator and predator, mother and mother, bound by something older than the hunt. The lioness tilts her head slightly, as if studying them. Then she takes one more step closer. The cheetah tenses, ready to run if she must. Her cub presses against her leg, but the lioness doesn't attack. Instead, she lowers her massive head and inhales softly. A curious, almost gentle gesture. She seems to recognize what she sees. A mother who fought to protect her child. A feeling she understands too well. Then, with the grace of a queen satisfied with her judgment, the lioness turns away. The cheetah watches as she walks back toward the ridge, her golden body blending into the sunlit grass. The younger lions follow, glancing back once, then disappearing beyond the hill. Within seconds, the savanna looks calm again, as if nothing had happened, but everything has changed. The cheetah stands slowly, her shoulder bleeding but her eyes steady. The cub clings to her leg, trembling. She lowers her head, licking his fur gently, cleaning away the dust. His heartbeat is fast beneath her tongue. He looks up at her, and she nudges him softly, a silent promise that they are still alive. The sun is beginning to fall now, and the heat eases. The air feels lighter, washed clean after the storm of fear. In the distance, vultures circle lazily, waiting for what the night will bring. The lions are gone. The hyenas will return somewhere else. For a long time, the cheetah doesn't move. She just stands there, her cub beside her, the savanna stretching wide and endless around them. The only sound is the wind through the grass, gentle again, as if the land itself is exhaling. When she finally begins to walk, she moves slowly, her steps careful but strong. The cub follows, limping slightly but determined. Together, they disappear into the tall grass, leaving behind only faint paw prints and the memory of a fight neither should have survived. Above them, the sky burns orange and red. The sun sinks low, and shadows grow long. Somewhere on the ridge, the lioness pauses to look back once more. She says nothing, only watches as the smaller mother and her cub vanish into the glow of the dying light. The plains fall silent. The day's violence fades into memory, and for the briefest moment, all that remains is a strange, quiet truth that even in a world built on hunger, compassion still has a place to live. The air still trembled with the echoes of the battle, the smell of dust, fear, and blood clinging to the savanna like smoke after a fire. The cheetah mother stood perfectly still, sides heaving, her golden fur streaked with dirt and torn in places. Around her, the grass bent in uneven circles where the struggle had raged. Only minutes ago, the world had been filled with noise, snapping jaws, wild laughter, the desperate cries of her cub. Now, everything was silent. Only one sound remained: the slow, heavy footsteps of the lioness. She moved through the haze like a spirit of the earth itself. Each step sent up a puff of dust that shimmered in the sunlight, turning her into a golden shadow. Her eyes, deep and calm, held a power that needed no roar to command obedience. The last hyena hesitated, snarled once in defiance, then turned tail and fled into the tall grass. The others followed, vanishing into the distance, their laughter fading into the wind. The cheetah's muscles tensed as the lioness drew closer. She had fought off death once today. Now she stood face to face with it again. Her cub whimpered softly under her belly, too frightened to move. The mother's tail flicked once, a warning both to her cub and to herself. She didn't know whether to run or to bow her head. The lioness stopped a few paces away. Her shadow stretched across the ground until it touched the trembling cub. The cheetah's breath caught. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to hold still. Predator met predator. Mother met mother. The lioness lowered her head slowly, her gaze fixed on the small, quivering life before her. Her whiskers brushed the air above the cub as she leaned closer, nostrils flaring softly. The cheetah took a step forward, her body half-crouched, ready to strike if she had to. But the lioness didn't bare her teeth. She didn't growl. She only breathed, one long, steady exhale that seemed to melt the tension from the air. Then, in a gesture that felt almost human, she turned her great head toward the cheetah. Their eyes met, gold meeting gold, and something unspoken passed between them. The cheetah froze, her chest rising and falling fast. In those few seconds, she saw something unexpected in the lioness's gaze. Not hunger, not threat, but recognition. The kind that only mothers share, the silent understanding of what it means to risk everything for your young. The lioness straightened again. She gave a quiet, rumbling grunt, not a warning, but a sound of acknowledgement. Then, without another glance, she turned away and began to walk back toward the ridge where her pride waited. The cubs of her own family peeked out from the tall grass, watching their mother with wide eyes. The lioness joined them, her tail swishing gently as she disappeared into the shimmering light. The cheetah stood in the same place for a long time, too stunned to move. Her legs trembled beneath her, but her eyes never left the path the lioness had taken. The cub crawled closer, pressing against her leg, his body shaking from exhaustion and fear. Slowly, the mother lowered herself and wrapped around him, her head resting over his small back. For a moment, she simply breathed, long, deep breaths that came with the taste of survival. The grass swayed softly around them, whispering as if the land itself had exhaled. The savanna, which had seemed so cruel only minutes ago, now felt strangely gentle. The danger had passed, but the memory of it would never fully fade. She licked the cub's fur, cleaning away the blood and dust. Her tongue moved in slow, steady strokes, each one grounding her, reminding her that he was alive, that she had not lost him. The cub leaned into her, small purrs rumbling weakly in his throat. His eyes, still wide with fear, began to soften with trust. Above them, the sky had begun to change. The sun hung low now, melting into the horizon, turning the world into shades of fire and honey. The acacia trees stretched long shadows across the plains, and the air cooled just enough to carry the smell of distant rain. The mother cheetah lifted her head, watching the place where the lion pride had stood. There was no sign of them now, only the faint prints left in the dust, already fading under the wind. She wondered if what she had seen was real or something dreamlike, born from exhaustion and terror. Did lions really show mercy? Or had she simply witnessed one brief moment where instinct had bowed to something greater, something deeper than survival? Either way, the truth of it didn't matter. What mattered was the cub breathing beside her, his small heart beating strong. When she finally rose, her movements were slow but steady. Pain rippled through her shoulder where the hyena had bitten her, yet she stood tall, proud. The cub followed close behind, limping slightly but eager to keep up. Together they moved through the golden grass, leaving the circle of trampled earth behind. The savanna had already begun to heal. Grass blades that had been crushed by the fight straightened again in the evening breeze. Birds returned, flitting from stalk to stalk, their chirps breaking the silence. Life, as always, continued. The cheetah led her cub toward a cluster of low bushes near a dry riverbed, a place where the shadows grew thick and the earth still held a bit of coolness. When they reached it, she turned once more to look behind her. The wind brushed her fur, warm and soft, carrying with it the faint scent of lions. She didn't feel fear this time. Only respect. As darkness crept across the plains, the stars began to blink awake. Thousands of tiny lights scattered across the endless sky. The mother lay down, her cub curled against her chest. He was already half asleep, his breathing slow, his tail twitching now and then in dreams. She watched him for a while, her golden eyes reflecting the fading light. In the distance, a low roar rolled across the plains, the lioness's voice, calling to her pride as night fell. The sound was deep and steady, not threatening, not cruel. It was simply part of the rhythm of the wild, powerful, eternal, beautiful. The cheetah listened, her eyes closing slowly. She knew tomorrow would bring new hunger, new dangers, new chases across the plains. That was the law of this land. Yet tonight, under the vast African sky, something felt different. She had seen kindness from a creature she was meant to fear. She had been reminded that even in the fiercest hearts, mercy could still live. The cub stirred in his sleep, pressing his nose into her fur. She lowered her head and brushed him gently with her muzzle, whispering to him in soft chirps that only a mother cheetah makes. Above them, the sky turned completely dark. The stars shimmered like 1,000 eyes watching from afar, ancient and wise. The plains were quiet again, breathing softly, alive, and somewhere in that silence, between the heartbeat of the mother and the steady rise and fall of her cub's chest, the wild itself seemed to whisper a truth as old as time. In the heart of nature, power and compassion are not enemies. They are two sides of the same, eternal breath.